Wow, a rematch of one of the greatest title fights in UFC history is finally happening. Years, I believe it was 5 years after their UFC 165 classic, John Jones and Alexander Gustafsson will finally fight again. What's up, folks? Fred Rachani, TSC, with this breaking news update. John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson was rumored to be right here in New York City for UFC 230, but the UFC has opted to hold that fight off and make it happen at UFC 232 in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going down December 29th. The news was originally reported by Ariel Helwani of ESPN.com. And yes, it is for the now vacant UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Cormier has officially, or maybe unofficially, depending on who's called him for the UFC, vacated the light heavyweight title, which means Daniel Cormier's sole focus at the moment is going to be on Derek Lewis, the Black Beast. He's taking him on at Madison Square Garden, just 3 weeks away right here in New York City, which is crazy to think about. Now, I'm wondering what's going to happen here because John Jones hasn't fought since July 2017 when he knocked out Daniel Cormier to regain the light heavyweight championship. Of course, he failed the drug test, spent a year on ice, and was recently reinstated or on the verge of being reinstated. It's kind of preposterous. USADA made a mockery of their whole testing system. And now John Jones, who's failed twice, also tested positive for coke, who's had a DUI, who's consistently gotten himself into trouble, is going to be rewarded with a title shot. Now look, I love watching John Jones fight. I wish the guy the very best. He's clearly got some real issues, whether you think he's a pathological liar or not. But I just don't know how a guy's going to learn from his mistakes just being thrust right into a title shot. But then again, we've seen here with the new UFC, with these new owners, these new matchmakers, they really don't give a damn. They just care about the almighty dollar. They care about having a title fight for the main event no matter what. And that's what we're going to get. And hey, I'm not going to be complaining in terms of fight quality. As far as who could win, I mean, look, until I see somebody actually physically beat John Jones despite his long layoff, I got to go with John Jones. That being said, if the Alexander Gustafsson that fought Glover Teixeira fights this John Jones, whew, I kid you not, I could legitimately see Alexander Gustafsson winning the fight. But here's the thing. Both guys have heart. Both guys went to the max. Both guys went down to the wire. It was a very close decision, which John Jones won. I think John Jones won. I don't want to hate on Alexander Gustafsson because, first of all, I'm not a fighter. Second of all, he's one of the best in the world today. And third of all, you know, what can you really say when you're fighting the best in the world? But he has been accused of some pundits of at times when the going gets tough, not to give up per se, because he went the distance with Cormier in a great fight. He went the distance with Jones in a great fight. But the rap on him is that at the end of the fight, Cormier wanted it more. At the end of the fight, or by the end of the fight, John Jones wanted it more. Take that for what you will. Either way, you know, if you watch those fights back, yeah, he definitely could have done more. But then again, you and I aren't fighters, certainly aren't fighting the best in the world, and getting rocked in the head, in the dome, by the best in the world, and it's easier said than done to keep up that pace. But I'll say this is a gigantic opportunity for Gustafsson because he has the opportunity to rewrite the narrative of his career. Right now, to me, as far as like fighters go to UFC, doesn't matter whether it's light heavyweight or not, he to me is like that Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, those guys that played during the Jordan era. You know, you could say Russell Westbrook in the modern day era for the NBA, that like, you know, they're great players, they're great athletes, but, you know, they're not the LeBron, okay? They're not the Jordan, okay, of their division, okay? They're just this freaking close. And we're going to see here. Is Alexander Gustafsson going to be the Kenny Florian of the light heavyweight division? A guy who's had a great career? Maybe some people might say a Hall of Fame career when it's all said and done, but somebody that just could not win the big one? Or is he a guy that's going to rewrite the narrative in his third title shot? Keep in mind, this is his third UFC light heavyweight title shot. It might be his last. Can he finally do it? I think this is his best opportunity. I genuinely do. I really genuinely do. Now, some people would say the Cormier fight was his best opportunity because he did rock DC, because he did have all the clear physical advantages, but at the end of the day, DC just dug down deep and got the job done. We'll see, but John Jones has been laid off for over a year. John Jones is not having a tune-up fight against Ovince St. Preux. With all due respect to St. Preux, who is a respectable veteran, top 10 guy, dangerous guy, okay? Gustafsson is quite literally a mauler, not just his nickname. He is a mauler. So it's not a fight you want to come right back to. That's all I got to say. And physically speaking, he's the guy that has given Jones the most trouble and matches up the best with John Jones. So it's anybody's fight. I still got to go with Jones, but we'll see what happens. I mean, look, if Gustafsson beats Jones somehow, some way, if Derek Lewis beats Daniel Cormier, you know, there goes that money fight with John Jones and Daniel Cormier. There it goes, and I really don't know what you do next. I mean, it's great for Gustafsson, but where do you go from there as far as the light heavyweight division? And as far as the heavyweight division, let's just say, God forbid, for the sake of DC South, he gets his ass really knocked out by Derek Lewis. It might be unlikely, but it happens. Does DC expedite his retirement and say, you know what, maybe I'll have one more fight against Brock Lesnar and move on from there? Would DC or Jones even be interested in fighting each other if both lose their respective fights? I don't know. To me, it's a little bit short-sighted of the UFC, but hey, it is what it is. But I want to hear from all of you. What do you think about this fight? How do you see it going down? Do you think it's going to be as great of a fight as the last one? Maybe even better? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us, Facebook us, do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care, and don't forget to subscribe for more breaking news updates.